What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of G5E Evolution. Evolution. God damn, I can't say the name.
Just take a breath.
Elevation. There we go. Elevation. Taco, burrito. What's up? It's Sunday. It is now June 25th. You know what that means. We are now officially 5 days away from Delta H Con, 6 days away from BACon, and 2 weeks away from two particular conventions. One is here talking with us today and joining us. He is the mouth of the South, the weave of the king of weaves. He runs his own panels and channel, Mr. Pixcelation himself.
Hi. I guess I'm all of those things.
I mean, they're in compliments. You're the
No, yes, of course it is, but I have not once ever indicated that I was weeb royalty.
sir. When I think of weaves, if I look up the word weave, there's like a picture of you like.
I mean, I do have a group server called the Cloister of Weebs, so I guess you could say technically.
So Deacon Rat wants me to call you Mr. Hollywood.
Fuck him.
It's literally right there.
It's right. It is right there at the chat. Like, oh, wow.
It's on the
Oh.
screen.
Hey, Deacon Rap. Totally, you're a cool guy. Yeah.
And joining us from Okashicon, they are debuting July 7th through July 9th in the greater Austin area. Is that correct?
Yeah, Pflugerville, to be more specific.
Mr. Amir from Okashicon, thank you for joining us today.
How's it going, guys? How's it going?
It's Sunday. People are going to be sliding in because they're tired. Yesterday was Pride in Houston. Happy Pride to everybody. Wish I could have joined.
Right.
But if I had gone out, I would have died of a heat stroke because I like to go in cosplay.
See how? That yeah, you definitely probably would have died, especially yesterday. It was like super hot.
It's like 100 and it was dang. The thermometer just said damn.
Like it was like when I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, listen, the sun likes playing. The floor is lava, and just everywhere is lava. So prepare for that.
No, I don't know what the hell's going on. Thank you for blessing us, common people, with your presence. How is your Ferrari? Hope some hoochie is in a '08 Chevy Densit.
The sheer level of projection that's happening right now is immense.
Wow, somebody, you really have a Ferrari? Like it's just out and about?
No.
Oh, come on, I can see it. It's there. It's got to be there. Come on.
I mean, look at your bedroom, dude. You have your bed is on a frame and not on the floor. You don't live life like a crackhead, so.
Right.
So I mean, you're living the Vida Loca right now. So
I mean, if having the bare minimum equates to having a large ego, then yes, I have a large ego.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, look at the days and times that we are living today. Like just to buy milk and eggs, it's just like I got to take out a loan.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I remember Eggageddon.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever one. That was crazy.
Remember? Like think about it, dude. Remember when McDoubles were $1? Now it's like almost $2.
Yeah.
You remember when they had all day breakfast and then they were like, never mind.
First off, I ain't eating McDonald's all day breakfast. Their breakfast ain't even that great when it is breakfast time. We can get into an entire conversation about which fast food has the best breakfast. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about Okashicon, which, like I said, is July 7th through the 9th. Let's talk about that because actually this is the first time I'm hearing about the convention. I've never actually heard about it until I looked up. No, actually, the way I discovered it is I saw an advertisement for Pixcelation as like a panelist guest.
I mean, he's been with us pretty much since the beginning. Like
yeah,
like every show.
Every year you've had since 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Whoa! Y'all been around since 2018?
Yeah, man, you're behind.
Well, yeah.
Which I mean, it's fine. We're a small show, and when you're going up against like Delta H and then a little bit after Akon, it makes sense. But Yeah, we've been around since like 2018, which is terrifying to think about.
The passage of time is ruthless.
Oh yeah, it feels like just like I don't know, 2 years ago we were like, yeah, this is fine. Then again, I feel like everybody did a whole time skip during 2020, so I feel like that's fine.
Nothing bad happened in 2020.
2020 never happened. It was 2019, then 2021.
Right,
Everyone was on vacation for
right.
2020.
There is no war in Boston Say.
I was just about to say that.
There's what? So I went on the website just to get some more information about y'all, and y'all have like this little intro video, like
Oh
this little
yeah,
video that plays on the website, and in the video you have the different like cosplayers on there, and one of the cosplayers who's cosplaying Super Saiyan Blue Goku
yep.
is one of our co-hosts.
Really?
Yeah.
And he didn't tell you about it? You got to get a new co-host, man.
It's because it's I don't have a vehicle, so it's really difficult for me to travel. And like he's definitely on there with his girlfriend. But
Definitely, yeah.
so let's see. So I didn't know. Maybe he had mentioned it, or like sometimes oh he might have gone. I don't know when was the last time he went, but if he went in 2018, he wasn't Geeks 5 ever yet.
I think that video was from when was that video? I think it was from 2019.
Oh yeah, he definitely wasn't. He wasn't Geeks 5 ever yet. He
Okay.
didn't become Geeks 5 ever until the end of 2020.
Okay, well then never mind. You keep him for now. He's on.
Yeah, that's right. I can keep him.
Yeah.
So you've been around since 2018. It's crazy because we were talking about this, and like we don't like to bullshit around here in this podcast. We like to get straight to the hard topics, and
Okay.
like we've noticed like a flux in conventions as of late. I don't know if you've also noticed that as well.
Oh.
Not just anime conventions, but conventions in general.
In general, yeah. It's been interesting to say the least to like see that because like I want to say after 2020, like after 2020, like from 2021 kind of forward, I've noticed like a lot, like especially coming in like Austin, but mainly like everywhere. I've seen like a lot of conventions crop up. There's one, there have been a few that I like was like I've never really heard, like I didn't really hear of them beforehand, and they're like, oh yeah, we just kind of like came into the scene like last year. I'm like, oh cool. And they're like, yeah, it's pretty great. Like, a lot of people seem to like what we're doing and be pretty like it's pretty cool to have like fans come out and come see like what we have and stuff. I was like, that's great. Like I'm not even, like it's cool that that there are so many diverse things even within anime itself that like you can, that you can create a convention and it's that diverse.
Mm-hmm. So you talk about diversity, which is interesting. There are a couple conventions they're implementing rules now. Uh, One in particular, they were shitting on it all over the internet. I forgot the name of it because honestly, I didn't care. But they implemented a rule like to attend the convention, you must like if you're gonna cosplay, it has to be an anime cosplay. If it's not anime, then they're gonna kick you out.
I mean, like they're their rules, right? So like, who am I to really say?
I get that
How do you
rule
enforce
for like
that?
a cosplay contest,
Yeah.
but for like general attendance,
How do you even enforce that? Because it's like I could just go dressed up like King of the Hill and be like, I'm technically cosplaying an anime,
A Texas anime for sure.
Yeah.
no,
yeah.
for real, no. Like because in Japan, King of the Hill is considered like anime,
Yeah.
and there's like such a because the actual definition for anime is so gray that I think
Damn right.
Wasn't that the same thing as like, well, people were like, Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't an anime?
Well, I mean, it could also. Well, actually, a better example is the Boondocks.
Yeah.
True. Yes, actually, that is a very better concept.
Because the Boondocks was actually made in an animation studio, but it's an American cartoon.
Right.
So does it fall under the category of an anime?
I always found it interesting to this conversation because so many people are like, unless it's made in Japan, it's not an anime. And it's like, well, hold
even
on
in
now.
Japan, the animations are made
Yeah.
in Korea.
Yeah, most of the anime is outsourced to Korea anyway, so
It's definitely a weird it's just kind of like a weird gatekeeping thing. To be fair though, like when I was back in my day, um, there I used to be like, yeah, no, I used to be on the same kick. Like if it's not made in Japan, it's not anime. But then as you learn more things and get connected with more people, like, oh yeah, that's kind of no.
That's kind of nah, because like when I first got introduced to anime, it was in Mexico, and I didn't even know they were from Japan. Like I thought they were, because I only saw these shows in Mexico,
Right.
and like I thought they were made in Mexico. It turns out like, so in Mexico they would license TV shows, and it was a lot cheaper to license anime than it was to license American shows.
Okay.
So that's why there's so much anime in Mexico. And like I don't know if you're like, this is confirmed by Chris Sabat, who is, Vegeta, lots of anime characters. He's one of the directors for Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
He confirmed that when they got the license to dub Dragon Ball Z, Japan didn't give them the footage. Mexico did.
Hmm.
The actual footage that if you go back and you watch one of the Dragon Ball Z season sets,
Mhm.
like the orange bricks, though, that's the Mexican footage.
Interesting.
So it's interesting. Like I always talk about how great like anime and like how it's become a cultural phenomenon in Mexico. It's even bigger in Mexico than it is here, believe it or not.
Oh no, we've been seeing like I've been seeing a lot of people like a lot of like dubs in Spanish from Mexico. I was like it's like a huge thing that is like I didn't realize that it'd been. I was like, oh well, this Japanese thing like it came to America, like they're trying to make a big market in America because superpower or whatever.
Mhm.
And but then like people are like, no, you have no idea. It is super huge in Mexico.
So yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the videos of like in Mexico City they had like the big crowd, like it was like 10,000 people. It's like a huge crowd to watch Dragon Ball Super, the Tournament of Power,
Yeah.
and it got so big that the Japanese embassy got involved,
Oh my
and then
gosh.
the
Wow.
Mexican government got involved, and so the Japanese government got involved because Toy had sent a cease and desist, and so the Japanese embassy delivered it, and so the Mexican government was trying to make a deal, and the Japanese government's like, no, we're not gonna allow this, and so the Mexican government's like, look, you can either give us a license and we'll give you some money, or we're just gonna pirate the shit out of it. It's your choice. And it's like, good luck.
Rebellion at its finest, right?
I
Like,
just
it
think,
was so big, even the cartel was
oh my
advertising
god.
like in the strip clubs that are owned by the cartel. They had and these are real. These are real advertisements. If Goku wins the tournament, everyone in the club gets a free lap dance.
All right.
Okay. Wow.
Out here.
I mean, they knew that Goku was gonna win. There's no
He
reality.
lost.
Oh shit! Really? That's
Remember,
actually.
17 won the tournament.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was thinking it was like one of those situations where it was like, oh, the main character's obviously gonna win.
Like, was it a loss?
Yeah, because he was eliminated.
Yeah, he was eliminated, but like
It still
everybody's like,
counts as a
"Goku won the
loss.
fights."
So,
So-
like, it was so influential that if you watch Dragon Ball Super Broly the movie, if you listen to the sound, like the music, whenever they play one of the songs where they're chanting their names, Vegeta, Gogeta,
Yeah.
Broly, and go Broly, go. The guy that composed the music said that he got that from the crowd in Mexico, like that they inspired that.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what. One thing that I definitely can say that's not going to make me any friends here is that a while back I was like, I'm mostly being facetious when I say this, but like, I am like, oh shit, man, Dragon Ball, I hate that. I still like
You
it.
better
but
watch. I mean, you're about to piss off a whole country, not just the community.
Let me get to that. So on Twitter a few months back, I was like, I said something against Attack on Titan and Dragon Ball. I was like, oh, what? And then like my roommate at the time was like, huh, I didn't know you hated everybody in Mexico. That was like, I was like, hey, hold on now.
Jeez, you will not be making any friends on that one. And on top of that, like, really, you decided to attack Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan's fucking stupid.
No,
I'm
Attack on
sorry.
Titan's one thing, but you go out to a fiesta, mi tienda, or a flea market,
Right.
go out in the center and be like, fuck Dragon Ball. You might as well have called everyone there a beaner.
Remind me never to do that then.
because it ain't gonna end well.
Yeah, I don't have the emotional or physical strength to deal with that.
I don't. Yeah, imagine outrunning a bunch of people that like, especially if they play soccer, because that's our main sport.
No.
Yeah,
So
that if you do it out there, wasn't there like a big like? I feel like it was Mexico who did it. Wasn't there like a like I don't know if it was during the World Cup or not. I know it was during a game where like a whole bunch of people put up a sign of like Goku. Like they made a like a poster, a giant poster of Goku. I want to say it was Mexico, but I could be wrong.
even the Houston Dynamo made a giant poster of Goku because a lot of our players are Latino Hispanic.
Yeah,
I remember seeing like I wasn't watching it at the time, but I do remember seeing people who made like a fake boxing poster where it had like Goku on one side and I can't remember his name. The guy the big fight where he goes Ultra Instinct.
Oh, Jiren.
Jiren, yeah. It had Goku on one side and Jiren on the other, kind of laid out like a boxing promotional image. And I was like,
That might have been one of the ones from the clubs.
That's possible, yeah. And I was like, I remember seeing that, and I was like,
promoting it.
Yeah.
They were promoting the anime fight like it was a UFC or a boxing
right,
fight.
exactly.
It might as well have been Canelo in that anime because they were promoting it like he was about to go in the ring. That's how big it got. Like that's insane. Like how awesome it is and how great it is, and like it's insane. It's great. It's great.
Yeah, the like the cultural effect of like that being like Dragon Ball Z in general is a huge cultural phenomenon.
Right, because even in this country, there are two animes that kind of paved the way for, because when you look at anime back then, and this is going back to the convention conversation, like the anime conversation, when you look at anime, you look at like there weren't as many anime conventions or comic cons for even that matter.
Right.
Like 30 years ago, there
Yeah.
weren't that many. Like we all knew about San Diego Comic Con, but that a lot of us believed that that was the only convention,
Yeah.
and like anime was not very up there as far as fuck, I lost my train of thought. Like we had Speed Racer, we had Astro Boy. Like most of our cartoons were just Hanna Barbera cartoons, and so because anime was not really this thing that was widely known about it, they were just categorized with cartoons back in the day. Whether people want to accept that as a fact or not, like they weren't considered anime if you didn't know about it. Like if you didn't know they were anime, you just considered them other cartoons
Yeah.
because it's all pencil to paper animation. So with that being said, though, uh, there are two animes that really paved the way for the anime industry today. One of them will be one of them is Pokemon. One of them is definitely Pokemon. Pokemon is what really opened. It's what really showed us the door to this new genre of like TV shows that weren't childish or. And you can kind of add Batman the animated series to that because it had such a dark tone in storytelling, linear storytelling. But like it was Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon that really paved the way for modern for anime now, especially with Tanami. Tanami's showing us like animes like Roni Kenshin, Gundam Wing, Ranma, Sailor Moon. You know, you name them all.
Yeah, they were all there. Like Lupin the Third.
Lupin the Third. They had Ronin Warriors. They had Zoids.
Oh, so it's the
Yeah,
premiere.
because like people didn't know. Like even then, people didn't know that. Like Power Rangers is also Japanese, but people didn't know it was from Japan. Like
Yeah, they like there was a period where I was like, Power Rangers is on separate thing, and like people were like, no, it comes from like the Super Sentai series. It's like, what? And then you go look, you're like, oh yeah, they just repurposed footage from.
hey, we got one of your attendees.
Oh hey, look, cool. Thanks, guys. Wait, what ticket did you guys get?
Oh, by the way, it's for those of you watching the replay, because it doesn't this our number counter isn't because I posted it on my Facebook. It doesn't give us the counter for that one. But
Okay.
if you go to Okashicon right now and buy your passes, you actually get a discount with the discount code G5E. How long does the code last?
It lasts until next Sunday or this Saturday. Saturday.
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
promote it at the con.
Well, damn.
Because remember, I'm gonna be at two cons.
That's right. You are going to be at two
I'm
cons.
the
Definitely.
programming guest at Okashicon, and I've never had a fucking
Look, sir,
coupon code.
Whoa,
sir.
hey.
Sir, you know how much ass kissing I had to get to.
Listen.
Okashicon does not like chapped lips. Okay, I had to grab that premium chapstick. Okay,
Tell
they're like,
you.
your lips better not be dry. You better taco burrito some chapstick somewhere because look, I did some premium, high quality booty kissing. Like I just had the booty. I'm like,
James, we'll talk later. It's
we'll
okay.
talk later. Yeah, get you some chapstick.
Yeah.
Get
It's
you
okay.
some chapstick.
You
That's
can
all I
get you can get a free pass if you use code There's a C.
You can get a free pass right now if you just cash at me this amount.
My cash app is in my bio.
Yeah, there you go. let's let's talk about the because James is complaining. So James, you're a guest, our panelist. What's going on there?
I go to the con and I talk. That's what I do. That's basically the limit of what I do.
Okay, so he's different from me. He has PowerPoints and presentations. I literally just go on stage and talk shit for like an hour.
No. He also goes around to
No, I'm
like.
talking about me.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, that is kind of different. I don't know if he has PowerPoints and slides,
Oh, he does.
videos and stuff too.
I have
He's all professional. He's got like his little suitcase and shit with his laptop in it. I just show up. Like when we were at Comic Palooza, I just showed up to my panel. Like, you setting anything up? Nope. I'm just gonna talk.
honestly though it works for you because like I've seen them firsthand and I've seen like how you are able to engage with the audience in a way that like a lot of other panelists don't, which is really cool. Like I can't even get people to respond to like interact with my panels the way you do because I don't know what it is. I gotta study your
Because
tactics.
you gotta the way it is I encourage them.
Right.
Like during the panels, like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, blah blah blah. I do my intro. In this panel, this is a comedy-based panel, so I encourage every one of you to troll, make fun of, throw jokes, and throw me off track. But you in the back, yes, you, Mr. Privilege, you in the cheap seats, keep it down. I'll literally like yell at people that's in the back, hey, you in the cheap seats, shut up. Whenever, because like you gotta interact with them, you gotta make them part of the show, and you kind of have to joke around with them, like when we had one panel, we had this one girl dressed up as the purple pony from My Little Pony. I don't know the name, Buttercup or whatever the hell the name is.
Starscream.
Starscream is a transformer.
Listen, I forgot what My Little Pony is for like 2 seconds. When you said, I was like,
They're
I know
horses.
it's hard something.
They're horses. If you didn't know that.
Oh no, I'm well aware. I forget the names. There's like
I forgot the names too. So
like
I think Pinkie Pie's the pink one.
that would make
It's
sense.
kind of in the name. So would it be Purple Pie?
Fuck.
See, now
Guys, I have to say, I was not a brony. I was not a brony. Why do I know this fucking name? Why do I
whatever
know?
helps you sleep at night.
I did not want to say anything because I know you, Jesse, and I know you will never let me live that down.
Oh hell no! Wait till we hang out at BalCon.
For some reason, I know the name of that fucking, and it's like,
what is it?
It's fucking Rarity. Oh my god!
What is it?
It's Rarity.
Rarity?
I had a lot of friends growing up who liked the show and they talked to me about it.
Man, I've been calling that stupid horse purple shit this whole time.
I never actually watched it, and that's the thing.
That's fine. I mean,
y'all are never gonna believe me, but
I'm pretty sure you've watched one episode. 5 minutes.
Come on, it's all about.
I've listened to some of the songs, but that's the limit.
Okay, so this girl, right? She comes in. She's cosplaying as Purple Shit the Pony from My Little Pony.
Mm-hmm.
Or Rarity, what the hell? And she's so she is. I guess she's in character because she's like stomping her foot and like throwing a fit.
Oh,
and I think she's going along with the show. And I guess because I didn't really know the character, like she's coming off as really bitchy. But normally when people are like that, they'll storm off and leave. But she stayed the whole time, so I figured out eventually that oh shit, she's interacting with the show. And she was right in the front. And so in front of the entire panel, I'm like, hey, you, brony, keep it down. We're not bronies. We're ponies. Bronies are boys. I don't give it. And I told her, shut up. Like, look, quiet. Shut up. Keep it down. And then I come back like, a minute later, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That was what I said was out of line. It was offensive. Let me translate. And the entire panel lost their shit laughing. As
I
soon as I started like doing horse sounds at her. And I like talked to her after the panel and she was so cool about it. Like she knew that I was joking. I'm like, oh my god. After the panel, I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry if I offended you. It was just part of the show. And she's like, oh no, I fucking loved it. It was hilarious. Even I was trying not to laugh. Because that's how it is though. That's how I get them to
Oh yeah.
interact. Like because one thing as a panelist, and I mean I'm not sure if you've ever hosted a panel before or anything like that. Uh but whenever panelists host panels, we notice everything. We notice when people are on their phones, we notice when people walk out, we notice when people walk in. And it does kind of some not all panelists, but some panelists, it does kind of get to them because that's when we have to like do a audible like okay, am I doing is it boring? Is it entertaining? Do I need to change it up? Do I need to pick up the pace, slow it down? What am I doing? And you can't really ask the audience in the middle of the panel.
Right.
And so that's one thing that people don't realize that being a panelist is fun. It's great, but it is a lot of work. It is planning, and it is like it does take up time during the con. It is tiring. It's exhausting.
Oh yeah. Um, I know there are times like walking around when James is like super focused, and any other panels that I've seen, they're like walking around like before their panel, they're like, "Yeah, I can't really. I'm trying to focus right now. Like, let me do it." And then afterwards, they're still like in panelist mode. I don't know, James, if that's ever happened. The only ones that I've like the few that I've seen, they're like after the panel, they're still kind of like in panelist mode. So like when you ask certain questions, it's kind of like a it's kind of like a Q and A answer. It's like, no. I just want to know if you want some water.
Yeah, no, that's how it is for a lot of panels. Like me, I'm doing this. I'm doing the like the jumping and the shaking, like shaking off the nerves, and I'm like, and I'll take a deep breath before when I grab the mic. I'll be like, I'll grab my microphone. I'm like, ladies, and I'll just go off. I'll
so
go off.
so one thing that I can contribute to this whole thing is that like I've been told that I have a YouTuber voice and then I have James. And I've just recently started to pay attention to it whenever I'm doing my recordings, whenever I'm doing panels. I put on this anyway. So here's the deal. I kind of like I put like a lot more excitement into my voice, and it's a lot more lively. And then my normal voice is what you're getting here, where it's just me talking. And one time I was doing a episode of the Pixcelation show, and I oh, is he gone?
I think he said he was to go do something, but it cut
Oh,
out.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so the long and short of it is that I the next day I asked my roommate, I was like, hey, like hopefully I didn't bother you while I was recording, and he was like, oh, um, oh, he was like, oh no, it was actually kind of cool to see to hear you the difference between like you and Pixcelation, and so that being said, going to the panels, there have been times, yes, where it's like I'm like wrapping it up, I'm getting everything ready to go to leave, and like someone like a PA or somebody will come up and I'll just like I'm kind of like in that split second panic mode where it's like, wait, what's going on? And then they explain to me, oh, we just were wondering how it went or something like that, and I'm like, oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
It's just this kind of this all at once, all the stress kind of just melts, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those like after you're like, hey, I just just that they're like, okay, yeah, cool. No, sorry, I just didn't know if you were a fan. I was like, yeah, I understand that. Like, especially if we're not like, like there's 10 of us eventually coming up and asking you.
Right.
Right.
But
But like, I will say this. Sorry to interrupt, but I will say this about you, James. You are definitely like you are kind of the definition of what a panelist is. Or like me, for instance, I'm not like I am a panelist, but I'm not a that like that's not my categorize. Like people actually categorize me more as an entertainer.
Right. And I mean, like that's I think that's the goal. I mean, like, because like before I'm a panelist, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator. You know, like I know I haven't made anything, or I mean, I made something a couple weeks back, but you know, it's been a while since I've been an active creator. But I think like the goal is to be an all rounded entertainer. Sometimes we do get categorized in these kind of more limited scopes panelists. Sometimes people just say like it. I don't consider myself an influencer, but you know, some YouTubers they like to call themselves influencers. You know, like, but it's like that's just the one part of the puzzle. I think that like
I would hate to be an influencer. So
I hate it. I
I
don't
hate
really,
it
I
too.
don't yeah.
You have to be careful because people look up to you like, oh, he did it. I'm gonna do it too. No.
No. Do as I say, not as I do.
Don't even do that. Go get advice from somebody else. Get
Go
advice
watch
from me.
this anime, but don't actually go on the internet and say it's trash. Go watch Attack on Titan, but don't go on the internet and say it's trash because then you're gonna get bombarded.
Oh, you know I don't care. Like at Comic Palooza, the panels are in the main, like where the dealer's room is. That's where the panel stages are. It's like in the middle of the floor, so everyone can see and hear you. Like we were doing Dragon Ball versus My Hero, and during our panel, I stopped and said, "You know what sucked? Bleach." And people stopped. Like, what? What did you say? No, it doesn't. Doesn't suck. Oh yeah? If it's so good, then why'd it get canceled?
So
And they're like, it went on hiatus 10 years.
It didn't get canceled. Like it had a final arc, and then that was it. And then
No,
you
the anime got canceled.
a couple years ago, at Comic Palooza, it was like one of the first years that they did the open air panels. Chandler was helping me out with my panel, and I was showing a clip from an anime called Asobi Asabase. The context of the clip was that someone smacked somebody's ass, and the sound was the ricochet of a gunfire, and that played very loudly. And according to Chandler, he saw cops pull their guns, thinking that there was actually a shooter. In that, I do not like the open air panels. I'll just say that.
Yeah, they're awful. They're really awful. They because you got to watch. Like you're under a like with panels, you have some leeway as to what you can and can't say
Yeah,
because it's a closed room,
yeah,
and you can give like a heads up. You can give like a hey, disclaimer, uh, parental guidance, whatever. You can give some kind of a disclaimer
right.
during the beginning of the panel saying, hey, this might come up, this might come up. But when you're out in the middle of the floor and it's out in the open and people are listening to you involuntarily, you have to watch everything you say.
Right. Like it's impossible to do an 18 plus panel in that open air space, you know.
That's why they don't do adult panels anymore.
Right, right.
But with that being said, so Okashicon, it's a 3-day convention.
Yes.
So like, can you let us like what are y'all expecting this year as far as panels, events? Like, do y'all have a nightlife? We got to know, man. We got to know. The people want to know.
Oh man. So we have a lot of things. So like our guest list include, of course, James, but our one of our big ones is Sebastian.
James.
Sebastian. He's a like a Japanese fashion designer. Also, he's also DJing our mixer, our J Fashion mixer, which is special because he's a DJ, but I guess this is like the first time in the States that he's done it.
I
So
got you.
that'll be very special. And we also have, yeah. So he's also opening a restaurant this weekend in New York, which is all the more interesting. He has it. He's done it all. Like the man is like the man is a jack of all trades. And then we have things like karaoke. We're supposed to be having like a karaoke that goes in through a good chunk of the night. We have all of our guests 6% Doki.
Question on that. Who runs your karaoke? Who runs your karaoke?
It's kind of in-house, so it's just like some staff who like staying up late and causing it.
Because I was actually gonna submit for next year to run it for y'all.
You can if you want to. That'd actually be great.
Because we have we do it for Anime Texas, Delta. Next year we're gonna submit it for BotCon. We do it for several conventions, and like we can. It just depends on the convention. It depends on y'all, I guess, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. But we can bring our own like actual. We have all the equipment. We have the audio mixers, the speakers, the cables, the TV, everything.
I that would have to be that. Well, we could talk about it because I definitely like it definitely would be like something we could probably try to work out. We'd have to like get it all worked out for next year.
Well,
But
it's because the reason why we do that, and is because a lot of audio. Like I look, I had to learn how to use an audio mixer, so I get it now. I get it. But when I was an early panelist, people were like, "Don't touch my audio mixer. Don't move anything." I was like, "Dude, you ain't gotta be a dick, okay?"
now
And
that you
then
got
like now that I know how to use one, I get it.
yeah, you're right, right. Let's see what else we have. Like Cybergirl bringing her brand Candy Trap, so she'll be around doing like she'll be also doing like the modeling, a lot of the Japanese model, which we are already have our forms up for. So if anybody wants to do like be a model, I think it's still up. Don't quote me on it. There are a lot of things that have been going up and down lately, but I'm pretty sure that's I think that is still up there. We also have Poopy coming, Devil Changeling Abahime, and Cammy. And then we have our voice actors, Aaron Lundquist and Alan Lee.
Where are they on here?
Aaron, you're pulling up an Anna right now. And so,
Okay.
yeah, she's been on a lot of things. She's.
I'm so dumb. I thought those were like cosplays they had done.
No. So what really like.
Yes, Jesse, they cosplayed a truck.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, man, that truck cosplay is really
Sir,
great, man.
sir, I cosplayed a bar soap at one of the cons.
Okay, but
I believe it.
we know why. Cons are interesting, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, that's beside the point.
Yeah. And then we have Aaron and Alan Lee. They're going to be doing a couple of panels too, on like voice acting and everything. We have all of our cosplay guests. So you have Victoria Bang, the Geeky Seamstress. We have Sledge. Sledgehammer. I just call him Sledge for short. And then we have an author coming, Sarah Fujimura, excuse me. God, sometimes.
No, for real. Like, I'm a trainer for my company, and our training is like classroom setting. Like, I'm pretty much like a teacher.
Right.
I get paid just as much too. Jesus. And like, I have a student there. I keep calling her Naya, and it's Nia.
See, like, it's like I really want to get that right. I don't want that to happen.
No, for real. And I feel bad every time I say it wrong. Like,
right.
She's been in my class for 2 months, and I'm still saying it wrong.
Is like that's like one of the worst feelings. Especially since I should know that. But hopefully she forgives me if she sees this. But we also have like love notes. So we have idol shows. So we have the love notes coming on, and then and they're going to be doing their shows. And then if you scroll down just one more, James's face is there.
Can we address this picture? Who chose this picture?
Me, I think.
Why did you pick this picture?
So low key, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, just gonna call out Melissa for a second. I know she's gonna be like, "You're canceled." I'm pretty sure I gave them a new picture and bio, and they just didn't use it.
This looks like your Tinder profile. Hey, sup? Pixcelation or James here. I like anime.
I don't know, Amir. Is it you who runs the website, or is it Melissa usually?
I am not at liberty to say.
Because I just assume it's her because of the fact that like I always just send my stuff directly to her, and then like I saw that my stuff was posted, and I was like, well, I mean, it works. It's not exactly wrong, but it's also from last year, so
I'm not at liberty to say. I will get back to you.
I'm gonna get a DM. She's gonna be like, yeah, we don't need you after all.
Like, hey, so
about your guest pass.
Right. And then we have another DJ. Sorry, going on. I'm sorry. We have Seffi. And
Seffi, my boy, he was on the podcast last week.
Right, and so it's not a lot. We have I think this is the first year we've had him.
So
Yes.
I actually met Seffi this year at a very it's a small, not very very, but it was a small convention called Waifu Fest.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
run by my friend who I went to college with.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say his name on the live stream, but really cool dude. I love the con. It was very laid back. Enjoyed it. Met Seffi there. Met his wife there. Really cool. We connected. For like we have been trying to get him on the show since the beginning of the year, but unfortunately a lot of things happened. Uh, so we were delayed. Like our podcast normally kicks off in January. We didn't kick off until March or April. So that's how much of a delay we had.
Yeah, that's a while.
But he is I like his stuff. See, I've met other DJs. I don't know if you guys, I don't know if they're still around, if they, whatever they do, I don't know. People know who they are. But I met DJs like DJ Heavy Grinder
God,
in person. And
yeah.
DJ Heavy Grinder sucks. I'll say it. I don't care what anybody thinks. I've met them. They're cool. They're nice. They're really fun. But
Hey,
I speak my mind on this. That's why we're just where's my disclaimer? Where is it? Oh, there it is.
hey, listen, I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. No, but like this looks like a great lineup for the con. You guys say y'all are a small con, but y'all have like a really good lineup. It's not too many. You know what? This I actually like this one right here because not too many conventions will bring in authors.
Which is funny also because I think she also has a book signing that is happening at Kinokuniya. Yes, she's having a book signing that's happening at Kinokuniya. So like I think after some of the panels she does, I don't know when. I think it's either Friday or Saturday. But she's having a book signing too. So go ahead and go out and support that. It'll be up on the schedule whenever we post this, when we post the schedule. We should be posting that very soon. But yeah, once you see it, you'll see like that's happening.
So I don't know if you're allowed to say anything yet, but has your schedule gone live?
Not yet. Like it should be. Where are we at? It's the 25th. It should be within like the next week.
Are y'all still taking panel submissions?
We can be. There just have to be some things changed, but maybe. Once again, I'm saying not saying yes or no, but you can definitely submit.
Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm asking, well, like I just so before we found out about the con, before we even contacted you, we had already like come to an agreement with Anime Texas this year. So we had so I had submitted so I submit at least 10 panels per con.
Right.
In the hopes that I get every single one.
I mean, that's fair enough. That's a fair thing to try to do.
There are, so let me put it like this. This is how, so when it comes to Geeks 5 Ever, we've worked with Comic Palooza for years, and Comic Palooza is the biggest, and it's the biggest comic book convention in the state of Texas.
Okay.
1 year, we had a total of 15 panels. There's only one other group that has had that many panels as us, and they were known as Airship Nikolai, and they actually happen to be really good friends of ours.
Ooh.
15 panels back to back to back.
No team, no sleep for you.
No. At Delta, I don't have anything until like 10 o'clock at night on Friday, but I'm hosting karaoke till 4 in the morning. I have to wake up at 8, be at BACON by 9, host panels until 9 o'clock at night, be back at Delta to host my panels from 11 until 4 once again.
You're a masochist, or yeah.
I have 11 panels between 2 conventions this coming weekend.
You're a madman.
So oh, so good.
No, I was just gonna say like it, but I choose to do that. I am miserably bored at a convention if I don't have panels.
So real quick, if you don't mind, Jesse, I kind of wanted to take a moment and like just the causation, how like things you'll do things and then like they will like butterfly effect stuff, like they'll lead directly to other
Yeah.
things in the future and all that. So, uh, and it's mostly trying to get back in Melissa's good graces after I called her out earlier. But she gave me my first shot, actually. Like, the only reason I'm here doing this right now is because I was given a shot by Melissa, who at the time was running Anime Austin. This was in 2017. And I remember talking to her at Okashicon 2016, and I was like, I had like 20 subscribers, and I was like, hey, I want to do a con, and then thankfully we worked it out, and she took a chance on me and brought me out to Anime Austin 2017, and that's kind of where it all started. But like also tying it to another guest who's going to be at this year's Okashicon is I was at Anime Austin 2017. I was I don't know why I was doing this, but I invited myself to autograph session, right? Because I want to feel special, and so I went and I got a spot at autograph session, and some people got it just to humor me, but then a lot of people were like, who is that? But I was watching my vlog from that con a year or two ago, and I saw that in that section of the video vlog where I was at autographs, I saw someone who looked very familiar. It was Sledgehammer. He came through the line. He was cosplaying. I don't know who he was cosplaying, but I'm pretty sure it was somebody from Final Fantasy VII. I think I can't remember. Uh-huh. But anyway, so and I had to come back and forth with him about just very how I think he asked me, either I asked him or he asked me about Hawaii or something like that because I had been there before, and it was just this kind of this back and forth, and then just a couple years later he blows up and he starts taking everybody with him, and I realized I connected the dots and I was like, oh, that's Sledgehammer, that's the guy I talked to in the vlog. And so now here we are 5-6 years later, and he's a guest at Okashicon, and so am I, and I'm kind of like, that's crazy, Like, admittedly, I would argue that he is a much bigger guest at this point than I am, but still, point being is that it's kind of like everything comes full circle,
Well, I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement. Let me tell you why. And here's the thing: because he's a cosplayer.
Yeah.
You're a podcaster / panelist.
Right.
You're not in the same category.
Well,
that's
no,
like comparing Metallica to Tupac.
Well, yeah, maybe not, but I guess my point at the end of the day is more that, and maybe I am just being hard on myself because I tend to do that, but I struggle to believe that I would say that Sledgehammer is more of a household name in the con scene at the current moment than Pixcelation.
That I don't, and I don't agree with you with that, and I will fight you, James. There's a parking lot outside right now.
Listen, Walmart's just on the road, man.
Waffle House. No, this is Waffle House.
Oh yeah, you go. Oh yeah, you go Waffle
House.
We
can go Waffle House. Yeah. So, and I have a story about that to share with you, Amir. Just by the way, it's about a convention in Waffle House, but no, we'll get to that. It's not
two things that shouldn't mix.
Yeah, right, exactly. But no, James. Here's the thing, man. People know who you are. People have heard of your group. You are a panelist. You got to understand that you like, and it goes back to my Tupac and Metallica statement. You're both great in your own way. Metallica is amazing. They have some of the most iconic music of all time. But Tupac is one of the greatest rappers of all time as well. You have to give yourself credit as well. You are a great panelist. He's a great cosplayer. He's not a panelist. You are. He's not a podcaster. You are. But he's a model and you aren't. So you got to look at it like that. You're comparing apples and oranges when you are great at what you do, and people know who you are.
Okay. So first and foremost, I do appreciate the pep talk. I was not asking for it though. I wasn't trying to make it like. I mean, I wasn't trying to make myself the center of the. I was just trying to say, just it was a passing note, like.
Right.
But
no, I get where you're coming from, but like, we're Geeks 5 ever, dude. This is our slogan, right there. Let me get rid of that. We are the voice of the voiceless, sir, and that's what we do. Like, we are here to help. We are here to uplift.
Right.
We are here to encourage. I'm a panelist. Panelists compete with other panelists for popularity. I compete with other panelists too, but I also encourage other panelists to be better than me.
Waffle House has chosen its new host. What the what?
I
Okay,
saw that.
yeah, our comments are great. I love our comment section, and they can be shown. They can be shown on this. That's why we chose this. Like that's why I like this platform because we can filter which comments are shown on the stream or not.
I'm about to get restream, honestly.
So with that being said, though, and I don't maybe Amir can agree with me here or disagree, but dude, panelists are the heart and soul of a convention.
Oh yeah, like without panels, like there really wouldn't outside of like the main event stuff, cause but that only comes around, once or twice depending
I
on
think
what.
it. I think it largely. Sorry, I think it largely depends on the con. Like Comic Palooza doesn't need panelists. Like they,
Yes, it
they
does.
no, they
Yes, it
don't.
does. Because if it without the panels, it's just a glorified flea market.
No, like legitimately, the main reason people go to that one in particular is for the autographs. There's more people in line in autographs than there are at our panels, and like, that's why they don't have a. They don't feel like they're pressured to give us rooms. Honestly,
Uh, that's I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I don't think I can say that on the air.
that's
No,
valid.
but like most conventions are just glorified, overpriced flea markets without
Right.
panels. And like I know that's I'm not trying to throw shade at vendors or the dealership or
Oh
anything
no.
like that.
No.
But like panels also give you something like it's fun to walk around and look at stuff and what you can buy, but panels give you something to do other than like, hey, I don't want to spend money the entire weekend. Like, and there's nothing to do at the con. Let's just go home. Like
Right.
panels, dances, formals, karaoke, whatever the case may be. Like they give people an option. They give people something other other things to do, and it makes the con look better because word of mouth, like, hey, this con had this and that. It was so much fun. Like there was never a dull moment. You got and like they'll tell their friends, and then their friends will go, and then they'll tell their friends, and that's how the convention grows.
Right.
Yeah, and like that's kind of like a big thing of like having that like goes back to diversity, having a diverse pool of options and like people to go to, and so having you and then having Sledge and having eventually Jesse one day. Never know, man.
Look, if I could be there and at Anime Texas, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm also eating. That's why my camera's off because they served dinner. I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually was debating on submitting and doing both. I was even like planning out how I was gonna pull this off because I'm actually trying to plan out how am I gonna pull off A Fest and Etchy Fiesta. One's in Dallas and one's in San Antonio.
Oh, you know Zoom is a thing, right?
I don't like that shit.
Get a plane ticket, please.
Hell no. I was just gonna take the bus.
Ugh.
Man.
Like
Yeah.
that's how I am though. Like that's how I want the convent. Like every con we work with, there's only I don't know how you feel, and I'm just gonna say that because this is like part of the Geeks Forever drinking game at this point. The only convention I don't work with because they can kiss my ass is Anime Monster.
Yep.
Whew.
Yep.
Fuck 'em.
So,
All right, everyone, take a shot.
so hey, like man, this is a nice glass.
No, you're good. uh, no, it's I have my personal reasons, and I'm not gonna share them on this show, but no, I have my reasons. I usually share them on the regular podcast. But with that being said, like every convention I will work with, I will I will even give you like I'll do everything within my power to make it a good experience. Like not everyone likes me, not everyone likes my panels because I make jokes. Like I'm an entertainer, I do stand up comedy, and and look. I walk around in a poncho and sombrero, and I call myself Mexico, and I make jokes about being Mexican. And I was telling those jokes, and I like at one of my panels, I told those jokes, and I offended like 3 out of the 40 people. I was like, and then I found out that I offended. I'm like, oh really, really, huh? So you're offended that the Mexican told Mexican jokes? Makes sense.
Telling car jokes. Like, what are you?
That's like No, I mean, and it's like I wasn't like targeting anybody else, and I try not to. I try not to be offensive, but I do make jokes about growing up. Like most of my jokes are about like the actual life that we lived growing up. And as a panelist, I try to be entertaining. I try to make jokes. That's why I during my panels I do a Pokemon roasting panel, and I roast Pokemon. Pokemon, and I won't say it like this, but I'll tell everybody. You know what Pokemon is? It's just cockfighting for kids. Yeah, sorry. I can be a little extra sometimes.
No, it's fine. I just talking
Speaking of Pokemon, did you know what they say about Vaporeon? I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it. I'm not
No,
doing
there's
it.
a
I
meme.
really
There's
like those little factoids that come up and like did you know like that's the immediate thing I thought of as soon as you were gonna say that, and then whatever you're gonna say I was like that's probably true.
look, somebody agrees with me.
Ugh.
It's like you think I'm bad. There are people that share the memes. Like I found the stone that turns Eevee into a ghost type Pokemon. It's just a brick. That's the anime audience for you, by the way. That is not me. I did not make
Oh
that meme.
no, the anime audience is definitely
Savage.
completely 100%, which is
Yeah.
not here.
Which brings me to like actually a really good question. This is one that a lot of people are going to ask, and so anime conventions they're tough to run. They're hard to manage. Like there's always something going wrong. But everyone works hard. I'm pretty sure you work absolutely like you're sweating and you're drained, you're tired. And people don't realize, man, running a convention is not as easy as it sounds. It's not because it's a machine and there's all kinds of gears turning, and if one gear does not turn, the whole thing can break. Like from everywhere, from the volunteers to the staff to the safety or the security or the police officers that are guarding, to panelists, to guest relations. Like everything has to, like, even if it falls right, like, even if everything's right, you can't let your guard down.
Oh yeah, no, it's
So like with your experience, because there are a lot of people that are like, oh, I should do a con. I want to do a con. I want to have like one up definitive studios con. Just I'm sorry, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, one up, but I just using you as an example. Or egg cosplay con, or like what is your like take on that? Like people that just like without any prior research or prior knowledge or experience that just want to run a convention.
the advice or just what is my thoughts on
Like
that.
yeah, both actually both. That's actually really good.
You know, I would say
I did not know that, by the way.
that
Sorry.
is interesting. Wait, which cons? That's beside the point. So I would say, on the one side, I would say that
Sorry. Sorry.
no, I know I saw the Huevo con and I was like, I would say that like it can be. Oh, hey Toa. Um, it can be. It can be easy, I guess, depending on what you're going for. Do you realize though that there are a lot of other cons that are probably going to take the attention. It's a big, like I said, it's very diverse. There's a lot of things that you could do. There's a lot of different cons that you could have that you can get into. Um, I think it would be best to like know where you're gonna be at. That old realtor saying comes to mind is location, location, location. Uh, it's about knowing your audience, knowing your fans, knowing what it comes from a place of knowing like what you want to be into, because like to be fair, a lot of us at Okashi like Japanese fashion and anime, and so like it would be soulless to just start a convention just to say like I want to I just want to do it for the money. Like no, you don't want to do that. It would be best to, like actually have like some knowledge in it, and even like knowing how it works. Volunteering, yeah, like Toa says, volunteering is like one of the best things I ever did, because like my first convention ever was that I ever volunteered at was IkiCon, and like that kind of opened my eyes a lot to a lot of things there, and then going on to like do like things like San Japan, fanime, and like stuff like that. So it gets, you just have to know that it is for the fans. It should not be about just. It shouldn't just be like, oh, I want to do this for money. It should be like, I want to do this for fans because I also like these things too,
Mhm.
and uh, I would like to share this with other people. You know what I mean? Whether it gets big or not. If it happens to get big, bravo. But if it doesn't, and you're still able to keep it going, keep it doing
And
it.
that's a good point, by the way. That's because I've been going to conventions since 2007. I've talked to a few con. I've met a lot of people, a lot of staff, con chairs. I know pros from San Japan. I know the con chairs of Ikicon, the vice con chair. I'm friends with Sarah, who's the con chair of Delta, the con chair of Anime Texas. I'm meeting y'all for the first time, so
I, I
uh,
I understand.
yeah. So like, I meet a lot of people. There's a lot of conventions that I met the con chairs of that are no longer in existence. One of them, like when I was interviewing him, like, hey man, so what made you start a con, like a convention? And I really expected like a wholesome answer from him, and I did not get what I like expected. He literally brought up like, oh, it's just like, like starting any other business. Like, I just wanted to start a business and make money off of it.
Yeah,
And like that con, for better or for worse, actually, needless to say, is no longer around. It used to be known as YuleCon in Texas. It was in the Dallas Fort Worth area.
I heard about that.
They were only around for 2 years before they were no longer around. And there are a lot of conventions, and like there are a lot of conventions right now. And this is something that we have experienced before. There was an anime convention boom between 2008 and 2011.
Yeah,
Like there was a convention like every 3 weeks, and like eventually a lot of those conventions now a lot of those conventions are gone. Like YoCon's gone, Animix is gone, Anime Overload became Anime CTX, Kamikaze Con is gone,
yeah.
and oh, James shows YoCon, that's the name I not heard of it. So like yeah, I was there for the first YoCon, I was there for the second, and it's like it's definitely it, you have to like because and I like something you said that everybody agrees with. It's you got to do it for like the fans. People don't realize this whether you're a YouTuber, an influencer, VTuber, I think is what it's called.
Yeah,
Whether you're a con chair, a panelist, a cosplayer, model, whatever the case. Like even like this is a bigger example. The WWE, World Wrestling Entertainment. They acknowledge the fact that without the fans, without the people, without the audience, they are the life. Like if for anime conventions, if panels are the heart and soul of the convention, then the fans, the
the
attendees,
fans
are the
are
lifeblood.
definitely, yeah. And like that's where, and I think that's where it leads back into like panelists. Like that's where I think that panelists do make a very good like are very good experience for conventions, and like are, like you said, the heart of it, because like all it takes is just like one person to like get inspired by something and then see something like what you, like with you or James do or any panelist does, and be like, you know what, I want to do a panel. And then it creates this whole domino effect of being able to do different things and like talk about different things at panels or be able to do that. And so it's, it becomes like it breathes new life into something, into a convention. And so like if you're just doing it, like if you're just doing it to make money, like your fans will know, or like the convention, the attendees will know. Like it'll feel very heartless. There have been conventions that I've gone to and they're like, this kind of sucks. Like this isn't, like there isn't anything different. Like I've seen this at other conventions, which is another thing. Like if you're just seeing what you're doing, if you just doing this at another convention and not really offering anything different, like a lot of people are just gonna be like, yeah, I don't wanna do that. Like this is soulless. I don't like this. I do not like this at all. So we'll probably come like one time to see if they do something different, because conventions, are only a yearly thing. But like if it doesn't change, I'm not coming back.
Right. No, I agree completely. I've noticed that with cons too. Like which is something that we actually used to offer before. To help cons out, we used to offer exclusive panels. Like, hey, like, well, let's make a deal. You will do this panel for your convention exclusive every year. Like for this is a good example because I no longer do it for them anyway. Onicon, we had a deal. We had me and the events director made a deal. Like, hey, I want 2 badges every year, and like I didn't ask for like money or a hotel room or anything like that. Look, I want at least 3 panels for the weekend, and this being one of them. And just give me 2 badges, and I'll host this. And it was called the Super Cosplay Dating Game Show.
Okay.
So everyone has heard of a dating game show.
Yeah.
So they're pretty straightforward. Bachelor, bachelorette will ask contestants questions, and they'll pick a date, and then that's it. And it's supposed to be funny, right? So ours is different. In the beginning, we have a disclaimer. And this, they're like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Geeks 5 proudly presents to you the Super Cosplay Dating Game Show. And this panel, there'll be joking, there'll be laughs. If you are easily offended, please leave the panel right now. Because if you stay and you're offended and you walk out with a sour puss on your face, we will sing one song and one song only. Every party needs a pooper. That's why they invited you. Party pooper. Party pooper.
Oh,
And then, all right, ladies and gentlemen, when you come up to the stage, you forfeit your right to be shy. That's right. You have to participate in whatever it is that we say, but you also have to consent. So don't worry. And then it's like so much. There's so much to the disclaimer. And in this panel, and I will point at people in the audience. I encourage every single one of you to troll, boo. If they aren't funny, you boo them off my fucking stage. And holy shit, we had it before I had my beef with Anime Monster. We hosted that panel there, and it was all the Sailor Scouts, but they were dudes. They were dudes dressed up as the Sailor Scouts, and they were all pretty boys. I'm talking about nice facial features, 6 packs, like all 8 of them, like all the Sailor Scouts, right? Only 3 survived because they booed almost every single one of them off that stage.
Brutal.
It was so. I was like, "Jeez, get off the stage, pretty boy! Don't you have a photo shoot to be at?" Oh, I was like, God, they are savage. And when the Bachelor Bachelorette picks their date, they pick 2 dates, and they get to choose what kind of battle they have. It can be anywhere from a striptease to a lap dance to a moan off to whatever, as long as the parties consent and is within state reg. It's not breaking the law.
Right.
And holy, like somebody did this girl made the guys give her a lap dance, and it's insane. It got crazy in a good way. And other dating game hosts have tried to replicate it, but they haven't been able to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, trying to sometimes copycat. It's copycatting is weird, but not weird as in like it's not gonna happen. It does.
I know where you're. I want to address your facial expressions. I know it sounds like, geez, that's like a liability.
No. I've heard a lot of stories from dating shows and just in general con stories. But it gets there are sometimes where like I keep forgetting that these things happen at conventions sometimes.
Because we had raised the bar one year at Onicon, so there was this really attractive girl that went on stage to be the Bachelorette. All right, we need some, and I was about to bring up the guy. All right, we need 3 guys to go on that stage. 7 dudes bum rushed that stage. Some of them jumped under. They didn't even go around. Like, you talk about thirsty. Like, some of them jumped over the table. Some of them jumped underneath the table.
Just
so that's what gave us the idea for the super part.
That's just I
didn't even have any control over that. They just all right. I need three. I didn't even finish my sentence, and they were already like, they rushed that stage so fast. I thought the cop showed up.
I'm just laughing because it's like this. You're trying to sell this to me, and he's just like, I will never approve this.
Whoa. Hey. Listen, okay. Never say never, but also talk to me after the podcast. All right, I just because I'm not in charge of the panels doesn't mean that I can't slide some DMs in the way. Like, hey, let me talk to some people first.
Well, I mean, it's like, what? Let me tell you why. it's so interesting because when you do, there's so many panels. There are so many dime a dozen panels. When it comes to making panels, and this is for anyone that wants to ever host a panel in the future, marketing is everything.
Yeah, that's one of the main things, and like, if you have if your fans know you're gonna do something wild too, well, not wild, but if your fans like you too, like they'll definitely like show up and show out and tell you like, yeah, you definitely need to come to this guy's stuff because it's just a great word of mouth.
There are people that will only go to a con if we're there.
Yeah,
Like I'm not even kidding.
yeah, no,
Like
there is a lot of like with certain particular panels, like if you get a particular panelist or a particular guest, they're like, yeah, we're definitely going. Don't even care about you.
like Jesse's there, yeah, we're
Yeah.
going.
The problem with that though is that I mean, especially for panelists, like I mean, you might disagree with this, Jesse, but like, there's really only a handful of ways you could really truly market your panel, and and most of them include getting on the internet and going on social media.
That's
And,
not true. I don't agree with that.
well, I mean, how else would you recommend that you
Mark,
market?
it's in the name.
Mark.
Do you take ads out?
No, it's in the name of your panel. Why do
Well,
you think I
yeah.
put super in front of everything?
Well, I understand that, but like literally, okay. So like for a prime example, right? I pride myself on my panel names. Like that's the one thing I'm pretty damn sure that I do correctly. And yeah, there's probably a handful of people who are drawn to it from the name alone, but like I would not say that's even in the top 10% of my I don't know. I feel like you are yes, you have a lot of control like with the naming and with that way you present, but like there's really not much you can do before the fact to like
Well, like, look, let me put it like this. Look
Yeah.
at it because you're a panelist, so you don't see it that way. But look at it. You have to look at it from the perspective of like another attendee. Like sometimes, James, you sometimes have to be the attendee when you look at the schedule. I look at every panel on every schedule for every con I'm at. What are these panels? What are they doing? And is it possible they can draw a bigger crowd than me? See, I don't just add the word super to my panels. I will legitimately change it up to make it super. Because when people, it's like, okay, this is off topic, but it's somehow related at the same time. When I go to a bar or a club, I will go in my King Mexico cosplay. I will go in a cosplay because if you want attention, you have to stand out. Because the most attractive like guy could walk in, or the most attractive girl could walk in, but they're not going to notice them when Pikachu walks into the club.
and
Like
that
even if
is
you like Pikachu, even if you hate Pikachu's guts, you notice Pikachu first.
and that is
Sometimes,
uh,
go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say that's exactly why I think people, myself and people like me, struggle. Is I'm a full-on introvert, and I do whatever I can to not stand out.
Dude, the first time I went on stage, I shook to the point where everyone thought I was going to have a stroke.
Well, no. I mean, I'm not talking about just stage fright. I don't mind. I don't really have stage fright, but the entire time I'm on stage, I am hyper focused on what I'm doing, how the audience perceives me. Am I doing anything weird? There's like a million things running, and I'm also talking about anime at the same time. And so it's like I'm not saying it's impossible to be an entertainer as an introvert. It's just there's an added layer of difficulty on top of it that people like you, who are very much, I would argue, you are very much an extrovert. Uh, you thrive off of the attention of others, whereas I
Believe it or not, I actually don't.
really,
I'm an introvert too.
oh really, okay. I just
But I
noticed the
have
severe difference between just the way we both present ourselves. So.
during a con, I have to forfeit my everything
Okay,
because at the cons, I have to be this person.
right,
If I'm outside my comfort zone, I won't talk to anybody.
right.
Here's the thing, though, and this is going back to Okashicon. As panelists, especially with Okashicon, we try to do everything. Like these panels, when you make up these names, because like, so Amir probably doesn't have any like he's not the one that makes the list, not the programming list. But like let's ask you, Amir.
Oh,
If you
okay.
let's ask you about the panels. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. Do you agree? Like, what is your take on that? Like, could a title, just the name of the panel, could actually be an attention grabber? Like, oh, like what makes this like you
So
have?
there's like a mix of things, right? Like once again, this is this is this is like this is the con organizer brain that you're getting on me. So this isn't level for everybody either. There is an aspect of like, oh hey, this is interesting, right? Like this is something that like this is very interesting. I feel like maybe the attendees are gonna like this. As an attendee, it also needs to be good and interesting and grab. And the word of the mouth is, like I said, the biggest thing on that too. So like if it's interesting and then they go and then it like they're interested, then they will tell their friends. And they will tell their friends about how this is and how like it'll be some bombastic like, oh my god, they were doing this. They were like, people were jumping over tables and like, Jesus, man, it was freaking crazy. Like, why is there was this chick over there and doing and like this is like for the not for the 18 plus, but like when wild things happen in a panel, like it can get pretty like there's both an expectation and that's probably also the other thing too. There needs to be like an expectation of something actually being that. So actually being bombastic. So, and like James said, if his panels are people have the expectation of James being James at his panels, and so like if people come for that, the people come for that, and
Yeah, and
that's
I
pretty.
actually want to agree with you on that. By the way, just to add to to James's thing, to kind of and I'm gonna let you continue. But James is kind of like, I don't know if you ever heard of the channel WatchMojo.com.
Yeah.
James is kind of like them. He's informative. James is informative, where I'm like George Lopez, Dave Chappelle, and Eddie Guerrero.
I've seen some of James panels though. There's sometimes some things like sometimes James says some very off color things.
I think James has been hanging around me too much. He used to be all professional, and he's like, you know what? Waffle House parking lot.
I'm of the opinion that, and the last thing I want to imply when I say this is that I'm talking negative talk against myself. That's not what I'm doing at all. But it's just that I feel like word of mouth with panels is more likely to be effective when you have the host dressing up like King Mexico. People are not going to be like, oh, I went to this really cool panel hosted by the 50th white guy I've seen today. Like people are not going to do that. Like that's just not really. I mean, they're gonna talk about the things that I say and then the content that I produce. Yeah, sure, maybe. But like in terms of like the whole personality aspect of it, like I'm just your average milquetoast white guy. I'm gonna oh, you can find 50 other people just like me on Twitter who are talking about anime and have hot takes. But it's just like yeah, but the word of mouth aspect of things, I have a hard time breaking into that for that reason. I think it's just because like yeah, I think my content is quality, and I think that like whenever I get going, I will create an enjoyable experience. But it's if you are like just like if you take a step into the panel room and you see me doing my thing and you stay for 5 minutes, you're probably not going to get the full breadth of what I am trying to do. Whereas, at one of your panels, Jesse, if you step in and you're there for 5 minutes, like you get that energy that you're putting out, right? You get that because it's just like a nonstop roller coaster from start to finish. Mine's more of a simmer,
Well, let me, and I kind of want to get Amir's opinion on this, but I also the reason why, and I'll share this with you. And I don't mind sharing this with you. I start off. You have to capture the attention of your attendees
right
from the moment once you give that high energy and you have captured their attention, then you can tone it down.
Well, yeah, no. Well, what I'm saying is like the people who are not there at the beginning, who show up halfway.
That's why you do the high energy for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because whenever this is and Amir, this is at Ecchi Expo, by the way. Some of our friends, Zeros to Heroes, were running a panel, called "A Hill I Would Die On," and it's essentially changed my mind. The panel.
Okay.
Somebody goes up there, gives an opinion. Somebody has to argue that opinion. So I went up there and I grabbed the mic. I was like, "All right, hey, let me be y'all's hype man. Let me be y'all's hype man." Because they had a room. It had a good number of people, like 15 people. So I go in there and I start yelling, "Ladies and gentlemen, zeros to heroes, proudly presents to you a hill you would die on. This is a comedy base." And people heard me screaming. You could hear me in the convention floor. You could hear me in other panels. People were like, "What's going on? What's going on in here?" So the panel room eventually became more than halfway full. It was like 3/4 filled. And so, like, you just gotta like do that. Like, sometimes you just gotta have like a hype man. Like, that's why I've offered to MC for you. Like, you gotta like do that. Like even wrestling matches have an announcer. The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah, yeah.
Every
I,
every
I, you did offer, and I said yes, and you did not show up.
you gave me the wrong panel and wrong time.
I did not do that.
You told me yes, you did.
No, I did not.
All right. So, but when it comes to submitting panels, like, what is some advice as someone that works for a convention, as somebody that that sees these? Do you get to see the submissions by any chance?
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, I was like, if you want to say no comment, that'd be fine.
No. I don't. My it's really funny. So my main thing is like vendors room and like vendors in general. But there's not a lot of programming stuff that I try to touch, but there have been a few things that I was like, oh, we're doing these guests and this is how we're doing that. And so it's been our main thing lately though. That's been my main thing lately though. I'm sure it'll branch out here soon enough. Because I'm gonna have to talk to Melissa about a lot of things. But,
okay, I was actually about to ask you what your position was with the convention, so you kind of answered that question.
Well, like I'm one of the executives, like so we talk about it, but I just don't have any. I don't touch the.
If it's not your expertise, you leave it to whoever's in charge of it.
Right. So panels aren't necessarily my thing, like
right.
And I don't see the submissions. But so my main thing is like dealing with vendors and stuff like that. And so so I couldn't necessarily tell you, like I couldn't give good information. I just know like from the panels that I've been to.
I mean, well, so let's rephrase the question from your personal preference. Okay. What is something that you think like some advice you can give to panelists that would capture your attention? Because you got to remember that are you a panelist by any chance?
No.
Because you're not okay. And that's good though, because you're not a panelist. You don't have like that. Not to throw James under the bus, but panelists have like this negative narrative, like, oh, if it's, oh, my shit sucks, or my shit is not as good as this other person's. And that's not true. People love James. James don't love James though.
What the heck are you doing at a convention then, man?
James's biggest critic is himself. Yep. No, but people love his shit. Like people will go to his shit. And, like sometimes he has the same he has the same people that will go to the cons for him. But being
I don't
like
believe it.
but seeing as you're not a panelist, so you don't really have like that panelist mindset, which is great because it can be very toxic. Like being a panelist, you're always second guessing yourself, like, oh shit, I'm gonna walk in there, nobody's gonna show up. But what is one piece of advice? Like, what could you offer the panelists that is something that would catch your attention, like based off of like maybe just description or name or just word of mouth or whatever?
For me personally, this is gonna go into my personal. I find that having like a great something in the description that like is very description, is very descriptive. Mm-hmm. And it's very like detailed, gives me a good idea of what you're going for. Because if the name could be great and like I go there and then it's just
it sucks,
right?
Yeah.
But if it get like the description tells me is detailed and tells me what I'm going in for and if it's something that I'm looking for, then yeah, I'll definitely go in and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like this is it. Like because like I said, like the name could do everything. The name could do all the heavy lifting and get me there. But like if I go in and then it's not what I was expecting, I'm definitely gonna be like, yeah, this kind of sucks. You know?
Actually, and I'm glad you said something because that actually is so in my making your own panel 101 panel. That's actually two of the things I go over: the name and the description. Because when you're giving a description, you're not just giving it for the program; you're pitching it to the con.
Right.
Like every time you submit a panel to a convention, you're not just submitting it; you're selling the idea of the panel.
Yeah. I can
You are,
definitely do that. Yeah.
like for like Dragon, like let's say Dragon, like I do Dragon Ball versus My Hero, and that's literally the name. Dragon Ball versus My Hero Academia, or Pokemon versus Digimon, and we use the same format to describe each one. Two of the most iconic anime Two of the most iconic anime fandoms go head to head in an open mic panel, trash talking slugfest. This is not a death battle debate. This is a fandom versus fandom. Mine is better than yours. Trash talking, like something like that. But
Trust
I will put in big, bold, like in all caps. This is not a death battle debate.
Panel descriptions be out here looking like college course descriptions. I mean, yeah, like don't go overboard and be like, or don't go under, don't underwhelm me or overwhelm
Yeah,
me. Give me the
don't use
right
big
amount of
words, man.
whelming.
Don't be using big words.
Yeah, right. Give me the right amount of whelming, so I can be like, oh, this is what I need.
That's
Because
why I
like,
put trash talking. I will put trash talking as soon as people see trash talking open mic, they're like, we're there, we're there,
yeah, and like,
we're so down.
and I guess that kind of comes down to your whole thing of marketing. Like, marketing is like a choice of. This kind of comes. This is a self-report. Like it does kind of come down to like the words you choose. So, you know, like Toa says, have details. Name is great. Definitely goes on a long way. And I would agree that those catch a lot of attention like that way. But once again, that's why I've also gone as James. Just doesn't see me because whatever reason he may not see me.
James is good. He's definitely one of the big three in Austin, but he doesn't reside there anymore. So
In speaking of descriptions, without saying what the title of this panel is or the well, not that it matters. You're gonna figure it out either way. But I'm actually doing a collab or trying to do a collab with Coach Roger McDaniel at an upcoming con, and we're doing this kind of like it's a basically top 10 worst isekais.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, Jesse,
Smaller words.
Jesse, do you watch anime or are you more of a general nerd?
I watch. I'm watching My Hero.
Okay, so I only ask because I
swear to God, if you call me a basic weeb, we're gonna have a long discussion after this.
I do know that there are some people who would not immediately know what isekai means, but like I'm not used to engaging with them, so forgive me. So isekai, for those of you who don't know, is a genre of anime that usually involves a very dumb male protagonist who gets killed because he's dumb and reincarnated in another world.
Oh, those anime! I hate those animes.
Yeah. So basically,
busted you get hit by this time.
yeah. So basically, so in the description, like I was actually really proud of this one because I just was like, since the beginning of time, one question has plagued the average anime fan. If given the chance to be reincarnated into another world, given what we know from your average isekai anime, would we even want to? In this latest entry to the blah, 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 we will go all Mythbusters on this question as we seek to prove which isekai are the worst isekais, and we promise that the answer will probably make you very, very upset. So, like, I've been working on my panel descriptions just because of the fact that I think that I have the titles down pat. I just need to work on my descriptions. And like lately, I've been trying to work on making them just more engaging, I guess.
Dude, I stopped watching Ice Shield 21 because the main character was still crying 114 episodes into the anime.
and you watch My Hero Academia
I was gonna say
because
you watch My Hero.
He stops crying after the first season and a half.
in the manga he is still crying.
I don't read the manga.
Well, what I'm saying is in the most recent chapters he is still crying. So
Bro,
like,
you're gonna make me stop watching.
Listen,
Man, the last thing I heard, he turned into Batman and Spider-Man.
yeah, and then he got healed by the power of friendship. Okay,
Okay, I'm done. Yeah, I hate that. So like I'm more old school. Ranma and a half, Ronin Warriors, Saint Seiya, Dragon Ball, Gundam G Fighter, Gundam Wing.
Tsunami basically.
Well, actually, a lot of those animes were in Mexico first.
Oh yeah.
Because Saint Seiya was called Caballeros de Zodiaco. We had Super Campeones, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, I'd say the Ranma. There were a lot. There were a lot, and I watched them in Spanish. I didn't watch all. I did watch Tsunami, but mostly for Dragon Ball and Thundercats
yeah.
and Megas XLR. That was a great show. Underrated.
They
Got
need to
canceled.
bring it back.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This is gonna be. Yeah, I didn't like that show.
I mean, it's not for everyone. I could see why you didn't like it. It was kind of stupid, but it was. I
Symbiotic
liked it 'cause
Titan.
It was simple. It was simple. I mean, how the hell is he controlling that Gundam with with a car with a toy remote?
I don't know. How do the Power Rangers control a Zord with a dragon dagger? Like,
Hey!
how is he blowing into the
That was
dragon
only
dagger?
in the English footage. In the Japanese one, he actually got in there.
Yeah,
He actually got in the cockpit in the Japanese
A
one.
dragon Zord with a. How is he blowing into the dragon?
That's where we're drawing the line. Not the fact that he destroyed the same buildings in every episode. Like those. Like, look, I'm not trying to sound like I'm not trying to make a racist joke, but those Mexicans work fast. Jesus Christ, is that my uncle up there? That building was up the next day.
Listen,
Tell me I'm wrong.
it's like overnight type stuff. Okay.
Yeah, for real. Like,
But
no, but like that's the fun of it though. That sometimes some shows are meant for you to just like don't overthink it. And
oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that like that wasn't. There are a few that I'm definitely just like, yeah, no, this is my
like for me,
dumb juice.
I will say this, and I'm not ashamed to say this. I watched the first 10 episodes of Fairy Tale, and I hated it. And I hate it. I hate Sword Art Online. I hate Fairy Tale.
That's fair.
I hate Attack on Titan.
You're pushing it. You're pushing it. But all right, I can understand.
And I don't like Bleach or One Piece.
Oh,
Okay, One Piece, I understand. Bleach though, Bleach.
Okay, it was.
come
it had a lot
aboard
of
and bring
potential.
along all
look,
your
look,
hopes
look,
and
look.
dreams.
Look. I liked Bleach better when it was called Yu Yu Hakusho.
Fair.
But the drip, the main the protag speech.
You mean the fact that he has everybody's powers, like he's a Mazo from the DC universe?
And yet somehow he still makes coming into that
The
very
coldest line in any anime does come from Bleach, though. It's Byakuya. When he beats up Ichigo for the first time, and he's like falling, and he grabs him. Even in death, you're slow. I was like, damn. Kick him while he's down. Why don't you?
Oh yeah, completely. Like, listen, Pink messed you up. All right.
I like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I still do like My Hero, but I'm only at the gentle criminal part right now. I like Tenchi Muyo, but Ranma and a half is like a better harem anime than Tenchi because it's a harem and a reverse harem at the same time.
See, okay. Well, I mean, yeah, okay. I can see why you would like that. That does.
Well, it's because it's more comedy based. Where I like Tenchi Muyo, it was more serious, but I like Ranma because it's much more comedy. Like Saint Seiya is great. I like Ronin Warriors, but they didn't age that well.
To be fair, can we say that Dragon Ball has aged well?
Dragon Ball Z has not aged that well because a lot of animes from early 90s, 80s don't age that well because they were still hand drawing them.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there are still scenes that you look at back then that you're just like, yeah, I wouldn't change that for the world.
No, there's some scenes that are like, holy shit, this is great. And then there's some like, Jesus. Where'd the budget go?
Yeah. Which I mean, you
But
could say that about certain current ones now. What was one that like you could just sell like the budget? It was just I think it was like in a recent My Hero one too, where the budget just disappeared. Like you're like, where did this go? Oh no, I know what it was for. It was for the Seven Deadly Sins.
How did I know you were gonna say
I have not. So here's the thing: I do not have an opinion on animes I haven't seen.
Okay, that's
Oh
fair.
wow, you were the only anime fan to have said that.
Well, no, I'm like people are like, "Hey, do you hate Seven?" I haven't seen it.
Well, no, what I mean is like there's a bunch of anime fans out there who will literally just be like mid, and it's like, have you seen any of it? No, but I just know it's mid. I'm like, oh, you.
No, I don't. I think that's stupid though. Like,
Yeah,
what do you think of My Hero? I've never seen it, so
right,
I don't know.
yeah.
Like I literally watched Pokemon just so I could talk shit about Pokemon.
And that's fair. Nobody would disagree with that take either, because there are after like the fact that he's just now ending his 10-year, 20-year thing
It's been
is like,
30s. It's been
yeah,
almost 30 years.
yeah, it's
Look,
like ridiculous.
Detective Conan has been going on for so long that physically, no matter how
They explained that though.
but no, they
He's
know. Look,
cursed.
I was gonna say, there's literally like even if you say like every case is a day, there is physically no way that he could have stayed 9 years old and still been
No, they pulled the Dragon Ball GT before GT existed, so it makes sense. He got cursed and turned back into a little kid. That makes sense. Ash.
Oh, you're talking about Ash. I'm talking about
We're
Detective
talking
Conan.
about we're talking about like Ash is still 10. Ash, no, he was 10. Now he's 11. You're telling me that even if no, that doesn't
Ash
make any
saw
sense.
Ho-Oh, and then Ho-Oh was like, "Hey, we're gonna make you forever young," and then
Then explain the other characters.
we're gonna make everybody in your life forever
Well,
young.
no, because all the other characters age, but like, this is why he keeps having to go to different regions.
Ash is Benjamin Button.
No, Ash goes to different regions because he'll get a new girlfriend, break up with them, and to avoid it being awkward, he moves.
Oh God.
That makes sense. That's like the perfect theory. But if you haven't read, so for those of you that are watching Pokemon, if you haven't read the Pokemon Adventure manga, I highly recommend it. I don't even like Pokemon that much, but the Pokemon Adventure manga is amazing. It's so good. It is great. It's definitely one of the best mangas I've ever read.
Cool.
I haven't read. I've only seen.
Well, okay, so in there, Team Rocket's considered more of a cartel,
Right. Yeah.
and
It's
the
more
gym
like in the games, right? Because it's
right.
kind of like
But so people don't realize this in the first Red and Blue, when after you beat Misty, you go through somebody's house and they were robbed by Team Rocket, and you literally exit through a hole in the wall. People didn't realize it. That's how savage the Pokemon games were back in the day. In the new ones, oh, we're evil because we were bullied, but now that you defeated us, we can all be friends. Oh, you're shitting me. You're shitting me. Back in the day, back in my day, Team Rocket came at you with a knife and said, "Give me your Pokemon."
But there's still some. I mean, like, okay, admittedly, the most recent ones I did play the Scarlet and Violet, but like, admittedly speaking, the games are still dark as hell. It's just that they have lightened up on the whole cartel.
Dark as hell, my ass. The only dark part was the fact that, no spoilers, but that someone was dead. Like that was it.
Well, yeah, but then also the whole idea of like, wow, there's there's actually I can't say this without spoil. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind.
Are you talking about the theory of the future?
Well, no, it's more just like the creepiness of Area Zero at all. Like how it is just like there's all of these Pokemon that are just like are either artificially made, just wandering forever, or that.
Yeah, but in the manga, Pokemon are actually considered weapons of war.
Oh shit! Really?
Yes, like
Damn.
they used Pokemon in wars to kill people.
And like Cubone, whole Cubone story, like
Cubo's story is not really that much in the manga. Like the tower where all the dead Pokemon live.
right.
There were a ghost possesses Gary, and they create zombies. And then you see his Charmeleon like slicing them up, and you see like It's pretty dark.
I just remember that one OVA they made, like Pokemon Origins, where like Charmander and Squirtle were fighting, and like Charmander is just like ripping into Squirtle's
So
flesh.
I will share this with you. In the manga, it is hinted. No, they say that Blaine created Mewtwo. Blaine is the one that created Mewtwo, the Cinnabar Island gym leader. He created Mewtwo for Giovanni. But Mewtwo was also created to cure the disease that Blaine was dying from.
Oh,
And eventually, later on in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you find out that Giovanni is dying from that same disease. That's why Mewtwo was created, to cure Giovanni and Blaine.
damn.
And then Giovanni is cured by Celebi, Celebi, and his generals take over Team Rocket, and they capture Arceus, and they have him create copies of Dialga and the other Palkia, so
Yeah.
they can warp the universe and like to what they want. So it's actually much more like adult thing. Like, hey, there's actually like these real world issues exist within the
Right.
world of Pokemon. Like, it's not all friendship and smiles. Like Pokemon, there are Pokemon. Pokemon are like can be considered friends, but there are a lot of Pokemon that there are a lot of people that use Pokemon.
So that being said, I think I need to take off.
Okay. Actually, yeah. So before you go, if you want to plug in your social media and plug in what you're doing at Okashicon.
Yeah. So I don't know what I'm doing at Okashicon yet because we have not locked that in, but I do know that I'm doing stuff. So look out for my stuff at Okashicon.
That's a great way to promote it.
I literally I got an email the other day and it was like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" And I'm like, I thought I clarified this 6 months ago. But anyway, we're gonna be doing all that. We're gonna be doing stuff. If you don't mind, I'm also gonna mention that we are in the final week for the Intermind Legacy. I Am the Darkness is a game that I have created alongside one of my best friends in the world. We are currently funding it, and the demo is available for free. You can download it and play it, and hopefully like it. And if you want more information, you can follow us for Chaos. We're Chaos Texture on Twitter, Facebook, and all the other places. Yeah. So Pixcelation, Chaos Texture. This is the logo.
Oh, don't forget Pixcelation will be at BotCon slaving away as a volunteer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. It's gonna be fun. I've never volunteered before, so I'm kind of excited, but I'm also like, what did I get myself into?
Should be fine.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you about Okashicon.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you, Amir. Thank you. I'll see you at the con, hopefully.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Cool.
All right, so Mr. Amir, is there anything about Okashicon that you want to plug in, promote, talk about real quick?
Hey guys, come to Okashicon. There's a discount code for anybody who's been watching the stream. GEEKS5 ever is the discount code. Go through the website, type it in, get it all set up, come out to the show.
I mean, it's pretty much this without the $. That's our Cash App.
Yeah. Also do that though, like give us money. But come out to the show, see James, see me, see Sebastian, see our idol shows, see all the people dressed up in all the pretty dresses and things and all the colorful things. You'll see me maybe also in this shirt as well. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm guaranteeing you'll probably see me in this shirt.
What's the name of the town?
Pflugerville. It's in Pflugerville, Texas. Yes, it's at the Courtyard by Marriott's.
Pflugerville makes me irrationally angry.
Hey, don't mind that. I didn't name the town.
No, I say irrationally angry because I was driving through there one day because I used to live in Austin, and I was driving through there, and there was a politician board thingy in the ground, like a promo.
Yeah,
and they were like, I don't remember what the pun was, but they made a pun where there was a word that starts with F and they put a P in front of it, and I was like, I saw that and it broke my brain, and I said, I fucking hate Pflugerville.
Calm down. Hey, go drink your milk. Go take your nap.
You know what? I think I will. I think I'll do that, Jesse. Thank you for the recommendation.
That's right. You got a big weekend coming up.
You do.
I got a big couple of weekends coming up. So
I know. Tell me about it.
until like mid-July, I'm basically like, don't talk to me.
It's more like September for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, between Okashi and Colossal, I have a pretty big chunk of time where I don't have anything, and then I have like 2 weeks from Colossal to San Japan, so it's just like,
You have a lot, sir.
Yeah.
Well, not as much as Jesse. Jesse has way more than the single human.
I have those same cons too on my list.
Yeah. I'm just like, I think I have a lot. You, sir.
I have all of those plus Ecchi Fiesta, Anime North Texas, Anime Austin, Ushicon, Ikicon.
Are you going to Colossal, Texas?
I already got my press.
Nice.
And I'm still waiting on my. I'm on. They're still putting my panels into the schedule. I can't talk about which ones have already been approved.
I'm low key only going so that I can get my I have a mask from the my cosplay mask for my cosplay of Lewis from Mystery Skulls Animated, and I tweeted at him a year ago, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at I was at his show. I was at your show, and I got the creator of the series to sign one side of it, and I didn't get a chance to get Mystery Skulls to sign the other." And I was like, if I bring it, will you sign it? And he responded with one word, yes. And I was like, so that's what I'm doing. At I'll also be playing, but like that's been my main thing.
So we'll definitely see Pixel around. We'll definitely get Pixel on our TikTok this weekend coming up. We're making TikTok content. But for those of you that aren't aware, Okashicon, you can go to okashicon.com right now to buy your passes. Make sure you use the code GEEKS5EVER to get a discount. We're going to be promoting the discount code during the conventions this weekend. That is right. GEEKS5EVER has 2 conventions, 11 panels, all between the 2 cons. And don't forget that tomorrow is our actual GEEKS5EVER live podcast. For Geeks by Geeks is going to be on, and on August 28th. 2023. For those of you that are unaware, in August 28th, 1993 was the debut episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. The 28th of August falls on a Monday, and we will be doing something special. I am happy to announce that Jenna Frank, the daughter of Jason David Frank, the late, great Jason David Frank, will be on the show to play tribute to her dad, including other YouTubers and a couple other cosplayers will be on that episode.
Let's kick ass.
Ooh, man, that is a lot. That is
real quick, Jesse. Just because you have mentioned Power Rangers a lot this podcast, have you ever heard or seen the anime Love After World Domination? Go watch it. It's really, really good. It is a rom-com, but it's set in a world where it's like basically if Rita Repulsa and the Red Ranger got into a relationship, and it's really funny and cute, and it's
I'm more of a Power Ranger comic book fan.
Well, it's like the whole the idea is like they like have to like hide from basically like there's like their 2 teams will be fighting, like a typical Power Ranger fight scene or whatever, and then the camera will pan to the left and they're off on their own just like having a date while the rest of their friends are fighting each other, and it's just it's really funny. But anyway,
I'll look into it. I'll look into it. Is there anything, Mr. Amir, that you want to promote real quick before we wrap it up?
Yeah, if you guys would like to also do the mixers, like I said, we have we have Sebastian 6%, Puvi. Just have all come out, come see a whole bunch of like Japanese designers and everything, and come check out our vendors as well. Have to promote them as well.
Yeah, no, like I said, check them out right now at Okashicon at Pflugerville, Texas. Okashicon, July 7th through the 9th, 2023.
It's going to be a fun time. We'll be there.
Be there.
Why do
GEEKS5EVER approves them.
Why do you actually sound like Kyle Hebert, though? You actually do have that. Like, I could definitely hear a hint of DBZ narrator in that voice. Like, that's actually really...
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Actually,
Right? Yeah.
that's
Like
spot on.
I can't be going insane, can I?
No. That is spot on.
Well, I actually that was my whenever because I watch so much wrestling, I try to imitate the live The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 17 live on pay-per-view. So I used to try to imitate that. But BarCon, Delta HCon, this coming weekend, Geeks 5 Ever will be there. Join us because we are the ones in an ocean of twos.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go eat dinner.
There you go. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Amir. If you haven't already, we will be promoting that discount code. We'll be back tomorrow. We have a lot. Also, don't forget, everybody, that this Wednesday, the Dark Side of the Community has been canceled. That will be on Friday now because the Ravens flock will be joining us to talk about the Dark Side of the Community. It is a very, very intense subject, and it will be live.
Live.
That's right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. If you catch
Bye.
them the replay, make sure you check them out. Everyone have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
See you later.